Welcome back, folks. Greg Silberman here, CIO, which is a Chief Investment Officer. Another session of Come Learn with Me. We curate a lot of articles on our social media during the week, and then we see what you all like. And then we do a session where we read 3 or 4 of them together, and we take a look at where the markets are. Now, typically, these are themes that we are very active in ourselves. And if you want to see the themes that we are focused on from an investment perspective, take a look below this video, and you'll see some links specifically to our LinkedIn mini groups. And this article is about uranium, and that's a very interesting area for us. We've been following research and investing in that space for some time. We do have an investment program. Take a look down below. I'm not going to go into that in great detail. What I want to do before we get into this specific article is just take a snapshot of where we are, because the market's been very volatile of late, and sometimes it's difficult to remember exactly where we are in terms of things when everything seems to just be dropping precipitously. So this is a chart of Cameco Corp, which is the largest or second largest, I think, uranium miner in the world. The first is Kazatomprom, which is in Pakistan. This is very interesting, and again, I'm not much of a trader. I prefer long-term charts. So this is a chart going back maybe 5 years, and we can see Cameco hasn't done much. That's again the COVID March 2020 low down there. And what's interesting is that despite the volatility, Cameco has really just been, you can do the trend line there, or you can look at that would be the 50-week moving average, which is akin really to a 200-day moving average, more or less. And it's really just been skating up there and parallel there. So now we're hitting the bottom of the trend line down there. We haven't exactly broken down. So I would say the trend is still your friend here. Again, not a recommendation. That's me just kind of looking visually at this and saying, it looks like the upward trend is still intact. That could change anytime soon. So with that in mind, let's take a look at a specific article that you all liked. US working on uranium strategy should not import from Russia. Granholm. I think that's Granholm right there, right? She is there we go. US Energy Secretary Jennifer Granholm said on Thursday that the United States was working on strategy to ensure steady uranium supply, and that the country should not be sending any more money to Russia for the nuclear reactor fuel. Steady uranium supply. Where's that going to come from? Some uranium mines, Canada, Australia, US even. So let's have a look. John Barrasso, the top Republican on the Senate Energy Committee, asked Granholm at a hearing on President Joe Biden's proposed budget whether the president would ban imports of Russian uranium as a way to further weaken Russia. Let's just get a date on this article. May 5th. Okay, so that was 3 days ago. I'll let the president make that statement, but I can say that this is a point on which I think we have a lot of agreement. We should not be sending any money to Russia for any American energy or any other reason, she said. She said the Energy Department is working on a broad uranium strategy to ensure steady supply for US nuclear requirements. Biden in March banned the import of Russian oil, natural gas, and coal in response to Moscow's invasion of Ukraine, but not uranium. Russia is the third largest supplier of uranium to the United States. The US power industry relies on Russia and its allies Kazakhstan and Uzbekistan for roughly half of the uranium powering its nuclear power plants. It has been lobbying the White House to allow the imports even as US and Western sanctions against Russia escalated. So just like Europe is beholden to Russian gas, we seem to be beholden to Russian uranium. Granholm said the United States is working to ensure it can supply low-enriched uranium to fuel existing nuclear reactors. If we move away from Russia right away, we want to make sure we have the ability to continue to keep the fleet afloat, she said. She also told Barrasso the department would make available about 20 tons of so-called high-assay, low-enriched uranium expected to be used in advanced reactors being developed in coming years in his state of Wyoming and in Washington state. Full federal uranium strategy is going through the interagency review process, Granholm said. Oh, okay, that's really interesting. Let's just do one thing just before we leave off here. Let's get maybe a bit more of a short-dated chart on Kamiko. Come on. Let's do a two-year chart, shall we? Let's make it daily just to get a little bit more wiggles in it. Okay, so there you just clearly see the trend. Here we've got the 200-day moving average, which is what we're sitting on right now. And it doesn't look terrible. Certainly doesn't look like some of the other charts we've looked at, the ARC Technology Fund and Rivian in some of the previous emails. So could be an area to watch, and we're certainly very active there. So hope you enjoyed this. I hope you enjoyed this quick research view. Not a recommendation. I'll say that over and over. Please consult your advisor or do your own due diligence. Please subscribe and like if you like these kind of videos, and take a look at our links below and let us know what you think. Thanks for joining me. Greg Silverman out for now.